Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're going to start seeing a whole bunch of anti-gun rights legislation that's going to start moving through Congress. Guns and Gadgets is covering it, as well as a couple of other people, Langley Outdoors, John Trump. Make sure you're following those channels for the day-to-day details. And they're going to pretty much just throw everything out there and kind of see what sticks. The thing that is most likely to pass, based on what I'm hearing, is the red flag laws, where basically uh, pretty much anybody can make a complaint that you shouldn't have guns, and then what they do is they come and they take your guns, and now it's up to you to prove that you should get your gun rights back. And you're lucky if you ever see your guns again, basically. Okay, so the problem with this, right, is that a lot of Republicans in purple states, um, think this is a good idea. Okay, so that's why I think this is probably the most dangerous to us in terms of it has the best chance of passing. And the reason here is because for a lot of these Republicans in purple states, it's hard for them to make a case uh, to these, to their state that they shouldn't be voting for it. And mostly the reason why it's hard for them is because they don't know much about guns. They really don't know much about how red flag laws can be abused. So even in cases where maybe they don't want to vote for it, they kind of don't know how to not vote for it. And the solution is that to each of these bills, what they need to attach is basically a gun training and credit for the teachers, all right, and school staff. Okay, so uh, basically, my idea is that once you're hired out of school, and I don't care what you're hired for. I don't care if you're the janitor. I don't care if you're the principal. I don't care if you're a teacher. I don't care if you're the gym teacher. Once you get an ID, basically that proves that you are school staff. Basically that is now your gun permit. And I'm not saying that you should need a permit to carry a gun, but in those states where you do need a permit to carry a gun, now that is your gun permit. Okay. So and that's a permit to carry in the school at all times. And what I'm also proposing here is that any gun purchases that these people make, any ammunition that they purchase, any training that they get, any travel to the training classes, basically anything that's related to training becomes a tax credit on their tax return, and not a tax deduction. Okay, a tax credit, which is dollar for dollar, right? If you spend whatever $5,000 in guns, ammo, training, that's an immediate offset to the taxes that you would pay. Okay, um, so what's going to happen with that is that's going to poison pill a lot of this anti-gun legislation, because a lot of the Democrats aren't going to want to vote for that. Okay, so that's the first idea. The second idea is actually to introduce this type of legislation as a standalone, because I think that this in reality, this has the highest chance of protecting the schools, right? As we saw, you cannot depend on the police. All right, police are either not going to show up. If they do show up, they're not going to do anything. They're going to be the last ones to go into the building. They're only going to go in when they feel that it's 95% safe for them to do so, right? They got to know who's in charge. They got to know, they got to have a floor plan. They got to know, they got to come up with this perfect plan. And by the time they come up with their perfect plan, um, it's too late. If their kids, however, were in the school, they would just rush straight in, through the front door into the gunfire if necessary, to save their own kids. And that's a natural thing. Okay, I'm really not faulting them, because my position is the same. If my kids are in the school and they're in danger, I will run straight into the gunfire, take as many bullets as I need to get a chance to stop this person that's trying to hurt my kids. However, if it's somebody else's kids, then I'm going to say, okay, let me see if I can do this from a position of safety, behind cover. Give me a floor plan. That's, so a very different mindset when your kids are in there versus somebody else's kids. That's just how it is. Okay, so now with the teachers, the mere fact that they are in there, right, in the danger zone, their incentive is to save themselves, and by them saving themselves, they're also going to save the kids, right? So they're the adults that are there with the kids. That's why it, makes sense for them to be armed and trained. Okay, and the way we can kind of move this along is with this idea of a tax credit to help the teachers get armed and trained, and also by making it automatic that second you get a school staff ID, that's your automatic gun permit that overrides any state local laws. I don't care if you're in New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, it overrides all those local anti-gun laws. Okay, so on the one hand, that's a good poison pill to sink any of this anti-gun legislation. On the other hand, this is in fact a good idea on its own, and I think it also should be pushed separately. And what you guys can do is I'm going to send an email to my senators, and basically, give them this idea. You should all do the same. Uh, this is something that can be used in two ways. Either, like I said, it's a good idea on its own, or it's a good idea in terms of acting as a poison pill against any anti-gun legislation that they're looking. Okay, so all you gotta do is send an email, right? And here's the thing: the email has to be recorded, right? And especially if they get lots of emails along the same line, that information is going to get to the senator. They will start kicking out the idea. One of the things I'm doing, I'm making this video a headline item, so I'm hoping that it will get some circulation. And by this video being out there as a headline item, it'll start getting some traction, and people will start getting the idea to push this. You can help by sharing this video on your Facebook page, everywhere that you can. Just push this, share this video, and help get this idea out. Thanks for watching. Talk to you all soon. Also, follow me on Odyssey, which is an uncensored platform. Okay, Odyssey spelled ODYSEE.com, and my channel name over there is Pocono Tactical. Talk to you all soon.